We try to study the masters. That is our responsibility. We want to impart information to students and everyone that helps and encourages them to become masters in their own right. To bring to you the elements of the universe: earth, wind, and fire! We try to study the masters to give the students inspiration and guidance in their career choices in the future. It was a very tumultuous time in America.
Right.
And your music had a social commentary element to it.
You think about yourself wanting to write a great album or whatever, or write a great product, but it's actually life actually writes it through you. Mm-hmm. And you have to live enough and just be open to allowing that to happen.
In the 4th grade, I was already in an orchestra in elementary school. Now, you can't find orchestras in elementary schools anymore. So I would venture to say, had it not been for arts in the schools back then, there may not be an Earth, Wind, and Fire today.
As a young musician who wants to start her own music group, what are some key things I need to know to be successful?
First of all, you have to get the right members that can get along, that can agree on the direction where you're going, and the same philosophy of music.
We're broadcasting this week from the fabulous New World School of the Arts in Miami, Florida. This week's guest is dance impresario Danny Lewis. Danny,
hi.
Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
What makes a great dancer?
Probably the most important thing a dancer can do is express in a way that everyone can understand. There's no language barrier in dance. It's purely an international language of movement. New World School of the Arts, to me, is the school where anyone who has a talent has a chance to take that talent and let it develop.
What was the experience like at the High School for Performing Arts?
You could be who you were without being ashamed of it, without worrying about it.
We want to start by getting some background as to how you got started, because most of the students out here really don't know how to make money off their passion.
I went to a private school. I was sort of a troublemaker, so I got sent away to school. And but it was a good school, and there was a lot of creative writing. And I always excelled on the art side, and not so much on anything that I was bored by, which tended to be anything that required memorization. Columbia forces you to take in your first year directing, acting, writing, theory, history. So you get this really wide range of experiences, and then in your second year, you focus on producing, directing, writing, whatever it is that you want to do.
How did you get into a university, an Ivy League university of that stature?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was working with a producer on a new film, and he had this idea for a movie, and I kept pitching him ideas, and he kept saying, no, I don't like that. And at some point I said, why does he get to decide and not me? And I said, I want to be him. I don't want to be working for him. So that's when I went back to film school and became a producer.
Today we have two giants in the music business. First, we have Kenny Gamble, CEO of Philadelphia International Records. Damon Jash, the head of Rockefeller Records.
Being seen and hitting the road and talking directly to people, and people seeing our show and understanding our lifestyle was where we built our brand.
You got to have a plan A and a plan B, and because I've seen so many of my friends who we started out together, that they used to tell me that, I can't do anything but music. I only can do music, but you wind up asking you to loan them $5.
One of the things that's really important is being pretty savvy on the internet, because it's a platform to be seen. And there's no politics with the internet. You can tape something like I'm taping it now, and you can put it right to market in seconds, and hundreds of thousands of people can see it. Where before there was politics, you had to pay to be seen.
What are the most important steps that we need to be taking as artists to, one day reach the level of success that, you guys have reached?
So always keep your mind open, and And you basically can do anything that you want to do if you study it and if you're good at it. You have to be good at what you want to do. So you're in the right place now, right here, to educate yourself.
Being good at something means doing it over and over and over and over again, all day, every day. The person that practices the most and has the most discipline is usually the one that wins.
I'm your host, Haq Islam, and we're here at the fabulous Duke Ellington School of the Arts in Washington, D.C. And this is where we study the masters. Our whole objective here is to make you great and to give you information that will lead to your greatness. We have as our special guest today, Chad Becker from the U.S. Copyright Office. Chad, why is it important to copyright your work?
Well, copyright really, it's one of the two foundations of what we call intellectual property law in our country. It protects authors. It provides authors the protection they need and the benefits that they can partake of in relation to the creation of their work.
Say you're a producer and you want to take a sample of Michael Jackson's song like Thriller or something like that. How do you do that? How do you get permission from them if they're passed? But if the copyright is still in their name.
Yeah, that's a good question. The first thing you have to do is find out who owns a work. And there's different ways you can do that. If you want to do the research on your own, you can do that, and the best place to start is with the Copyright Office.
If you look on a song, there's a publisher's line, and you can contact the publishers. In the case of Michael Jackson, it's Sony, and you just call Sony, which is public information. Go on the Sony website. It's pretty easy, because usually you're coming with some money, and they'll take your money. I'm Haq Islam, your host, and today's panel is entitled The Business of Art.
Being born with birth-affected hands and being teased about my hand. And as a result, to recover emotionally, I started tracing comic strips. I started doing festivals, and eventually I got picked up by a publishing and distribution company who, had a print market. And they put my name, they published a lot of my work, several of my work, and they market it and they put it on the Cosby Show, the First Wives Club, and they built a name around me.
Any artist would like at least for there to be a recognition of the things that an artist is making. But the thing that I'm most concerned about is trying to be able to work every day at my art, at my craft.
We have a stellar panel, and our topic today is how to write and produce a hit song in Spanish. Mi primero pregunta es para ti.
Perfect.
Okay. Tú tienes mucho número uno discos en el mundo. ¿Qué es tu secreto?
El secreto de un éxito es tratar de ser original. You have to try to be original when you write a song. You don't know which one is going to be a hit. It always surprises you. You always have to be original and trying to be the best at what you're doing.
You just won a Grammy, I
Yes.
Exactly. You've been nominated 9 times.
9 times.
And you have a hit song on the radio right now with Luis Enrique.
That's correct.
Yo no sé mañana. Do you guys know that song?
I was like the #1 intern. I was still making coffee and doing all those things that entry-level people do. And I did that for a long time.
So how important was the internship to your career?
It's the most important thing.
You have the song, you're in the studio, you have to make that artist deliver.
The engineer's personality is also very important to make the artist feel comfortable inside the booth.
Royalties come in several different ways. Performance royalties, which are on the radio, and then mechanical royalties.
Yeah, that's the record itself.
The record itself.
If you had any advice to give to someone entering the music industry, what would that be?
Believe in what you're doing and develop very strong skin. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about the publishing deals. All that stuff is really important, but that'll come. But if it doesn't, are you still gonna have a great life doing this? And that's the best advice I can give you.